Right now at noon, icy roads across the Portland metro area amid frigid temperatures this afternoon. All while snow comes down along the coast. We have your latest weather impact, plus PSU under federal investigation for how it handled alleged anti-Semitic acts on campus. We walk you through those details. And later, the uphill battle for a Portland teacher to receive the right diagnosis. Her message to women when it comes to their health. Thank you for joining us. I'm China Green. Top story this afternoon. The cold temperatures led to a treacherous morning commute around the metro. One particularly icy spot here was the Fremont Bridge, where at least 4 crashes were reported just this morning. It's unclear whether anyone was injured in these crashes. PBOT says its crews placed more than 8,000 gallons of liquid anti-icer on Portland streets overnight. And several school districts canceled class today, including Astoria, Kelso, Tillamook, and Lincoln County School District. Some school districts delayed their starting times, including Camas and Oregon Trail. And you can find a full list of school closures and delays on KGW.com. And we are taking a look at the time-lapse video from our Chinook Winds beach cam. Snow was coming down on the coast this morning. It was pretty something to see. Chris McGinnis, you've been tracking with this weather impact alert now on our heels.
Yeah, and you know what? We may actually see that dusting of snow work its way into the I-5 corridor and the Willamette Valley and the Portland-Vancouver metro area tomorrow. And so for that reason, we've got a KGW weather impact alert day scheduled on our forecast for Wednesday. Just issued from the National Weather Service a winter weather advisory for the I-5 corridor. Specifically for the Portland-Vancouver metro area. That is from midnight tonight until noon tomorrow, when the temperatures rise hopefully above freezing. But this is the situation we're looking at potentially overnight tonight, with more precipitation coming in and the temperatures dipping below freezing, some icy spots, possibly some light snow and low elevation snow, meaning the possibility of sticking snow down to the lowest levels, down to the valley floor. So with that in mind, let's show you what's going on right now, what we're watching. Snow across south central Oregon pulling away. A few snow showers continue across the Coast Range at noon, but this low offshore is going to drive another batch of moisture in overhead tonight, and that will drive the increasing threat for low elevation snow. Again, that could happen anytime after midnight. It's not going to come in like a storm per se. It's going to come in waves of showers, which means some folks get a little snow and then we get a break. Some other folks get a little snow, then we get a break. And the impact will be overnight and through the noon hour tomorrow, with possible low elevation snow and some icy patches out there on the road. So much more to talk about as far as that's concerned. At noon, light snow continues across the Oregon Coast Range, although even here, the temperatures have warmed a bit. We're up to 34 degrees now at the Sunset Summit. So what was snow covered and icy this morning has thawed out, and we are likely to do the same again tomorrow. 41 last check at PDX. And whoops, that should not say New Year's Eve on it. I apologize for that. We're in the low 40s for the remainder of the day today. And then, China, we wait for that next round of precipitation to come in. I will walk you through that hour by hour coming up with Futurecast in just a few minutes.
New at noon, 2 sources told NBC News that the White House is preparing an executive order to initiate the elimination of the Department of Education. President Donald Trump cannot unilaterally abolish a federal agency without approval of Congress. It was created by Jimmy Carter back in 1979, and Republicans have wanted to get rid of it for decades. Republicans control the House and Senate, but it would need 60 in the Senate to overcome a filibuster and advance to a final vote. That would require Democratic support, which would make it unlikely to pass. That comes as the U.S. Department of Education announced yesterday it's investigating Portland State and 4 other universities for alleged anti-Semitic harassment. PSU investigation was spurred by a days-long pro-Palestine protest and occupation on campus last spring, along with Portland State, Columbia, Northwestern, Cal Berkeley, and the University of Minnesota Twin Cities are being investigated. At PSU, the Department of Education says widespread anti-Semitism has been reported. Craig Traynor, the acting assistant secretary for civil rights, said in a statement that the department is putting universities, colleges, and K-12 schools on notice. This administration will not tolerate continued institutional indifference to the well-being of Jewish students on American campuses. In response, PSU says in part, Portland State University is dedicated to upholding a safe, inclusive, and respectful community for all community members. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. cleared a key hurdle this morning to become a Health and Human Services Secretary. A Senate panel voted along the party line to advance his nomination to the full Senate. Oregon Democratic Senator Ron Wyden, who voted against it, said in a statement that Mr. Kennedy spreads misinformation about the efficiency of vaccines and failed to show a basic understanding of the Medicare and Medicaid programs. Washington Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell voiced her opposition before voting no.
I need someone at HHS who is going to say we're going to be a leader in medical technology, science, vaccines. We are going to fight foreign powers. We are going to be there to provide global health.
And there will now be a final vote in the Senate. RFK Jr. can afford to lose 3 votes from his own party if all Democrats vote no. The Washington County DA's office is sending a message to would-be crooks: shoplift and we will prosecute you. It's part of their new grant-funded campaign fighting retail theft. And Catherine Cook shows us how the county is helping local businesses protect themselves.
In downtown Hillsborough, the shops along East Main Street invite customers to stroll and shop. But business owners like Jeff and Sandy Nelson know that crooks have different ideas.
It's not just always about the theft, it's about the mess that they create.
The Nelsons own Le Stuff Antique Mall. They've posted signs around their shop hoping to deter shoplifters. Recently, they put up this sign, handed to them by Washington County DA Kevin Barton. It says shoplifting will be prosecuted in Washington County. It means a lot to them.
This is more of an official statement from, our DA here in Washington County, and that, I think, is a more powerful message than just we prosecute shoplifters. It's our DA saying it, so that's a good thing.
The Washington County DA wants more than just people in Hillsborough to know they're prosecuting shoplifters, so they're getting the word out.
In Washington County, we're lucky to have a wide range of businesses.
This public service announcement is running on TV and social media platforms across the Tri-County area. It's part of a whole package of initiatives funded by a $1.5 million grant from the state. The funding will also be used to purchase surveillance equipment for retail parking lots and fund overtime for police missions catching shoplifters in the act.
What I really want is I want the community to have confidence and to know that something is being done about this. I think we've all seen around us an erosion in public safety, and it's happened in different places at different levels.
DA Barton says getting the message out through signs or PSAs won't stop all criminals, but there are those who'll think twice.
I have 3 children, and I can tell you from my own personal observations, if they know they'll get caught, there are times when they won't break that rule. There are still times when they will break that rule, so nothing is perfect.
Barton says the important thing here is it's something tangible, and he believes it's working. The DA's office is also partnering with the Organized Retail Crime Association of Oregon. Small businesses can apply for a grant through them to pay for improved security systems, including cameras.
I want to have a camera that is outside our front door and one that's outside our back door.
The Nelsons have already applied.
To have them back us up now is important.
In Hillsborough, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Aviation safety is in the national spotlight right now following the 2 deadly plane crashes in D.C. and Philadelphia. The Army Corps of Engineers are pulling what's left of the American Airlines regional jet from the Potomac River. NBC's Tom Costello brings us the latest from Reagan National Airport.
Good day. So the challenge today on the river, just past the runway behind me, is going to continue to be the wind that we have on the river in Washington today. But they need to try to recover as many of the remains of the remaining victims as possible. The D.C. fire chief says so far they have identified 55 remains of the 67 people who were on board both aircraft. So 12 remains still need to be identified. Separately, the priority today is going to be lifting, if they can, the rest of that fuselage out of the water. Specifically, they want to recover the cockpit. Then they're going to wait probably a couple of days before they start to lift the helicopter out of the water. This has been an all-hands-on-deck investigation. Air traffic controllers who were in the tower at the time of the crash have now all been identified, have all been interviewed, and they have been working on the timestamp for the black boxes from both the helicopter and the jet. Apparently there was no timestamp on the helicopter's black box. That has made this a rather lengthy process. Let's talk quickly about Philadelphia. The black box from that medevac Learjet is now at the NTSB lab. That's only a cockpit voice recorder. It's not a flight data recorder. Investigators want to hear precisely what was happening in the cockpit just before that jet went into the ground, killing 6 people on board and 1 person on the ground, 24 people injured. That's the final total we have from authorities in Philadelphia. Both investigations still very much in the early stages. Back to you.